Hey, this is Mark Ruggiero, Clark Commander 1983 here, June 28th, probably about 2:30 in the morning, 2024. And I'm here to talk to you about a somber subject. It's not going to be super long. But somebody suggested, how do you know I'm going through terminal cancer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in the process of selling most of my collection, and I don't pretty much doubt I'll get through most of it before I die. But I am making an effort. And somebody said, I don't know, I was on a discussion board on Facebook or something somewhere, and I was like, I wonder if anybody's really talked about like how to do it, because I've mentioned, though, I've set up a list. I've got friends that said they would help, and so I thought I would just do this short video. If you're interested, and hey, it is what it is, right? We all kick out of here sometime. So how do I want to dispose of my collection? Now, obviously, you got a family member or something, or kids, grandkids, whatever, that you may want to leave your collection to, and okay, you dispose of what they will, or keep what they want, or you got buddies, like I've done, that they know, like, and my sons who don't war game, but I have buddies, agreed, hey, I'll, help get rid of your stuff, Mark, whatever's left. And of course, I've been like, well, I would like you to, keep, something you want, something that you'll remember me by. So that's kind of like the easy part. But I thought, I think what's important, and I've done this, is, and I did it like fairly recently, and just verbally. I don't feel like, I need to do it actually in writing. I mean, part of my living trust is like my son wants my ASL stuff. So that's actually in our living trust, or, that my son, they get like first choice. So, but the reality is, um, I've collected in my life, when I started, I probably had somewhere around 2,500 games. And that did not include my magazine games. And you can see I got a small part of the collection behind me. And I say small because part of what's left, I have between 800. And I tend to list games about 10 at a time. I still allow myself to buy one game for every 10 that I sell. So I am out there every once in a while, I mean, literally, even though, I don't know, right? None of us know. But with pancreatic cancer, I probably have, months to live at the most, maybe if I'm very, very super fortunate, a couple years. But anyways, so specifics. I would say that, and I've made my wife, who doesn't game, and that's of course who I want to be the main beneficiary of whatever monetary value can come back out, and it won't be whatever that is. But I've made sure that the person in charge knows that, like, here's a network of people that said they would help, and what their different roles are. Like, they'll help sell, or they'll help ship, and I've written some of that down. But I've made my family aware that, like, hey, you get tired of, dealing with the collection. There's Noble Knight. There's other dealers out there, but Noble Knight makes it pretty easy. They'll get pennies on the dollar for whatever's left, but they do make it pretty easy. So I've actually shown my wife, how it's done. How to request a shipping label from them, to actually, we packed couple boxes up of stuff I didn't really feel like selling, shipped it off. They give you your, hey, we'll, give you this in trade, or cash. And of course, she was more interested in the cash. So she saw how relatively little it was, but it makes it quick and easy. Okay. The person that I asked to put in charge, because I didn't want anybody to feel put out, and hey, you know what? People don't owe me anything, even my good friends. But I made sure to ask, hey, I'd really like you to kind of head up when the time comes, getting rid of my collection. And I went over pricing because I don't know what I'll have left, but I went over pricing. I said, this is whatever money comes from this. Obviously, I want you to have a cut. And because it is, but my family, my wife and my boys can help, pack. They know how to pack the games well. They've helped me ship them. This person's main job will be to work with other people and list things on Facebook. They'll get full, or if they have an eBay account, however. And then, of course, minus any costs they incur, plus a percentage goes to them. And then what's left over will go to my estate or go to my wife. Well, I individually price everything. No, but what I did do is I walked the person through, because they have sold some stuff, but I showed them. I said, look, what I do is I go to Board Game Geek, and this is where some of the work comes in. I've helped get rid of 3 collections myself over the years, sadly. And, but I said, the pricing idea is Board Game Geek, actually sold prices, not asking prices. Same with eBay, actually sold, and then minus, because the idea is not to maximize the profit. Now, there is a couple of gems that if I don't have sold before I pass away, I said, these are probably worth, not discounting as much. But we don't want to fire sale the stuff either, because it is a lot of work, right? So, for example, for myself, I said, if something says, hey, it's pretty much regularly sold between, say, 90 and $100, let's offer it up at 85 or 75, and see what happens. And then you can go from there. But realizing it's a lot of work, and I don't know how much value this video actually has, because it sounds simple, but I actually haven't seen anybody that's kind of put it in a place. So that's what I'm doing with this video. So number one, have a plan in place, whatever that is. Donate, you're going to donate it. I've seen people say, oh, I'm going to donate it to the library, or I'm going to donate it to a college. Well, then make sure they want it. Make sure your family knows where to send it. Make sure it's arranged how the shipping's going to happen, all that stuff. Don't just be like, oh yeah, donate all my games to this, and then you're dead. Like, you don't care, you're dead, right? But your family is stuck with something that, like I said, I've helped get rid of 3 collections, and it's a burden. The reality is it's a burden to most families. And, we've all seen it. Friend passes away, and you get asked the last minute, you get this big jumbled pile of stuff. My games generally are in really great shape, well organized, at least game-wise. But I would recommend, like I've done, have a person that's going to be the main point person and have some backup, and make sure you've got other people that at least verbally committed to, like, Mark, if I'm still here when you die, I will help commit. I'm going to help your wife. I'm going to help your family. Because I really want to be clear, it really is a burden to them. To us, it's our treasure, right? We think of it as our legacy, or we think of it as, I don't care what they do with it, I'll be dead. Okay, fine. Well, then maybe it ends up in the trash. I do care what happens to my games. I mean, in the sense of I want it to benefit somehow all the years that my wife's put up with my gaming and my family. And, she's been supportive. Not always in the best way, but in a lot better ways than I hear some other stories out there. So, but I think, it really doesn't take a lot, and it's something you should think about, whether you're 35 or 100, right? Who knows what happens tomorrow, but have some kind of plan. You know, your games are, well, you got 5 games or 5,000. And yes, I know some people that have more than 5,000 games. They don't have a clue what they're going to do with their games. Sadly, I know what's going to happen, but I guess I'll just end it with this. I think invariably, because like I said, I've done it 3 times, the family gets fatigued after, usually about 2, maybe 3 years. And they end up doing like the Noble Night, or a dealer comes in. And no offense, if you're a dealer, you offer, great service, but I don't want to see the majority of my collection go there. I mean, if that's what my family decided once I'm gone, then not a whole lot I can do, right? Because it does make it easier on them. So, but in the end, I hope that my sons, I hope that my friends, and they know who they are, take something or a few things that when they play it or look at it, they'll think of me. And I just hope that, maybe this video jarred something and helped you in some way decide, you're right, Mark. So today's the day I'm going to put it in writing, and I'm going to contact Joe and Bob and Jimmy or whatever and talk to them and make sure I got things lined up. Because, it could be a car accident. In my case, I still could drop dead a second from now, right? But, pancreatic cancer is going to kill me. I know that. It's just a matter of when. So, anyways, I hope somehow this video helps. I'll get it up and I'll, label it somehow where it's obvious what the intent is. Okay? Thanks for joining me. Mark Ruggiero, Clark Commando, 1983. Look, my wife cut my hair finally. Love you all. Bye.